Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Lisciafael deck profile. This is the Destined one of Supremacy from the newest Destined Showdown booster pack. Really awesome deck. The playstyle for this deck being a Lyrical Monasterio deck feels more like a Majesty Lord Blaster themed deck, setting up cards in your soul and then being able to use your Divine skill for a restand power and then a permanent power gain to your Lisciafael Vanguard for a different take for the setup of what Lyrical Monasterio is meant to do. Figured we'd start with this one next after Levidros for the Destin 1 decks from the booster set. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. We'll go ahead and start off with the Ride deck. For starters, we have the Energy Generator with our starter being Lucent Suite Millies. When wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Coolest Glance Vilia. When wrote upon by Mature Lures Ludica, draw a card, choose a card from your hand or rear guard, put it into your soul, choose one of your vanguards, and it gets +5 until end of turn. So it's basically soul setup power, which you need to have a good number of cards in your soul for you to be able to use for Lisciafael. So having a starter that can basically help with the grade 1 to do that is a big help for sure. With our grade 2 being Mature Lures Ludica, when wrote upon by a grade 3 with Lisciafael and its card name, Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 to draw a card and Soul Charge 1. More soul buildup, but also giving you draw power while being able to make use of either the Counterblast or an Energy Blast for the variety of what you want to do with this grade 2. And then our grade 3 being the Destined 1 of Supremacy, Lisciafael, along with the copy in the Ride deck. We run 3 additional copies in the main deck as well. When this unit attacks, while not boosted, Energy Blast 3 and put 2 or more rear guards into the soul. And this unit gets Drive +1 until the end of turn. And then this unit gets +5,000 until the end of turn for each card put into your soul for this cost. There's the soul buildup having a Drive +1 option with your Vanguard until the end of turn. Also helps with the restand power because the Divine skill for Lisciafael is on the Vanguard circle. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a grade 3 or greater unit. If your soul has 6 or more cards, Counterblast 1, stand this unit and gets Drive -2 until end of turn. Until the end of this fight, you get all of your Vanguards with Lisciafael and its card name get +5 power and critical +1. That is a continuous skill as well. So the power is permanent to the card as well. So very useful for that power gain permanently. And then also just being able to make use of the fact that it'll have Drive +1 thanks to its first skill. So when it restands for its second attack, you will be able to at least perform 1 drive check with your Lisciafael. For other grade 3s, we also run 4 copies of Charmy Present Amafi. When placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Lisciafael and its card name, Counterblast 1, draw a card, and this unit gets +5 till end of turn. Just more build up for units for you to be able to use. And auto, when this card's put into the soul from rearguard by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard Lisciafael and its card name, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets +5 till end of turn. Just added power boost to your Lisciafael Vanguard thanks to this grade 3. So you have draw power and then just a way to make use of it after it's put into the soul also. With the last of the grade 3s, I like to run 1 copy of the new Accident Squall Anasia. It cannot be ridden, and if you did not use Divine skill during this fight, it cannot attack. It's just an additional 15k rearguard, a little more difficult for your opponent to attack on rearguard, and there's a good chance that you're just going to resolve Divine skill as soon as you have your grade 3 Vanguard and your opponent is a grade 3 Vanguard. So there should be no limitation for when this unit can attack, and it'll also get +2 for each of your opponent's rearguard, so a potential +10k as well when it attacks. And for the grade 2s, we're running 4 copies of Brilliance Restage Albelina. If you have grade 3 or greater Vanguard Lisciafael its card name, it gets +5,000 power. And on rearguard once per turn, when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard Lisciafael its card name attacks, if your front row has no other rearguards, Counterblast 1, stand this unit. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +10 to end of turn. So a 25k boost in total for this card. It also, kind of wants you to put your front row rearguard into the soul, which you can do if your other rearguard is your Amphi for you to be able to use, and you'll do so just so you can clear out that rearguard and then have a multiple attack for your Albelina to restand for it to be able to attack after your Vanguard attacks also. We run the 4 copies of Dazzle, Bubble, Paradise, Prescia, just for the Energy Blast cost when discarded from your hand for an Energy Blast 3 or Counterblast 1 to draw a card. And when it's placed on rearguard, if you Persona Road this turn, Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3, choose one of your units till end of turn. It gets +5, and if you chose a rearguard, return that unit to the rearguard at the end of the turn. So more bounce back power, but still, we mostly use it for the discard cost for being able to give you more draw into your hand. For the grade 1s, ideally I do want to run 4 copies of Sway with Swings, Balatiel, but we have 2 Soothing Voice, Junette, which are also for the Lisciafael deck. With this card, during the battle boosted, if you have a grade 3 or grade Vanguard with Lisciafael in its card name, it gets +5 power. And when this unit's put into the soul from rear by the ability of your Vanguard with Lisciafael, draw a card, and if you did not countercharge this turn, countercharge 1. So it's the countercharge power for the deck, just being able to make use for draw power and also countercharge ability by being able to put into the soul rearguard by the ability of your Vanguard, and then being able to make use of this card as well when it's just put into the soul to do so. For other grade 1s, we're also running 2 copies of Beware of Overeating Eileen. When it boosts to rearguard, look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top or bottom of the deck. I just like this card in the deck for the added potential to grab a needed trigger when you're going to perform your drive checks with your Vanguard if you do your rearguard attack first. So the perfect boost power for Albelina as well. And also the 2 copies of Blue-Haired Prodigy Resius. This card can provide power to another rearguard for this unit or one of your other units in general, and then it can be the potential rest for one of the orders we're running in the deck called Call and Response. So then we can rest this card, and then it can just be a card that goes into the soul to use for Lisciafael. For the other grade 1s, 4 copies of the Sentinel Diva of Refreshing Calm Christine. I like just running the full unit options because we do run a good number of orders in the deck as well, just for consistency for units to be able to make use of as well. For the orders, we're running 4 copies of Call and Response. You play this by resting a rearguard. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them, call to rearguard, put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So more setup using this order. All you have to do is rest a rearguard, and then the rearguard you rest can be the one that's behind your Vanguard circle because you can't even boost with your Lisciafael to begin with. So rest that rearguard with Call Response, and then use this order to call out another rearguard to an open slot. And 2 copies of Sweetest Sweet Supremacy. You play it with a Counterblast 1. If you have a Vanguard Lisciafael in its card name, you Energy Blast 2. You Energy Charge 2, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets continuous. All your front row units get +5,000 until end of turn. So an additional boost for your Vanguard to provide power to your front row, and also an additional Energy Charge 2. So you will be using Energy Blasts for a good amount in this deck. So having a way to replenish those cards with this order is a definite boost also. For the trigger lineup, we're going with the 8 critical for pressure with our already, pressure-styled Vanguard attack, 4 copies of Edwidge and 4 copies of Oris, just for the added use of the multiple drive checks we also perform in the deck. The 3 copies of Baratois, because once again, with just putting cards into the soul, the main focus becomes our Vanguard attack, where I find draws to be a little more better for it. And then for the heals, the 1 copy of Rhyme and Flow and the 2 copies of Hushed Diva Hortense for the heals, with our over trigger being Eidos Faro for the option to choose a card from your drop and put it back into your hand, and choose a unit, and it gets plus critical till end of turn. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, slowly going through all of the different Destin 1 decks from the Destin Showdown booster pack. So I hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.